Right, we'll start slowly as usually, then we will go fast. Uh, that is how normally. And today is the day 8, but module 7, right? Remember MNI flow, drawing the MNI flow, we do 2 days. So that is why day 8 we are doing the module number 7, right? So today 8, 9, 10. We have another 2 days. Anyway, we are at the end of the course. Right. Okay. I think everyone can see my screen. Okay. Then I'll move. I please follow your handout always, right? Because that is why I share the handout, I think 3-4 days prior to the session. Okay, if anyone doesn't have a handout, don't worry, please. I think you have at least a piece of paper. Right, we'll go through, right? So today, very simply, today our topic is 5i, right? We'll go through 5i, how to do the 5i, and maybe like Ravi, you know 5i well, and today you will be added a little bit more. Right, very simply, uh, we need to understand, we need to be happy because of the problem, right? There are two reasons. First one is we call as this picture shows. Problem is an opportunity for us to improve. So that is the one first reason, right? So anyone, if we see a problem, that means there's an opportunity to improve. Second one is why management are there, because there are problems. If no problems, no need to have management. The no management mean no job for us. So that is why it is really important for personally and the what you call the officially for the organization, right? Problems are always opportunity to improve our processes or our life or anything. And the other one is Taichi Ono says, having no problem is the biggest problem at all. So that is what he says, right? Taichi Ono is the father of Lean, father of TBS. So he said this quote, that's his quoted. How we learn it actually, 1 minute, please. Okay, so now you can see my screen, right? Again?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Right, thank you. So, because we learned when Toyota consultants came to us and they did, normally they asking, hello, how are you, Darshana? So that is how they are asking. So normal, same as us. Then normally how we practice, no, that is our nation. No, I know everyone says, okay, good days, no problem. That is what we say. So we repeat the same thing with the Japanese consultant from that means the Toyota people. We say, how is Darshana? How is the day, Darshana? We said, okay, hi, son, no problem. Then he says, no problem is the biggest problem. That means, have you not gone to the shop floor? That is their question. If we say no problem, they ask again, I think you have not been into the shop floor, or you don't know what happened in the yesterday, or you don't have any data. So that is what they say. In the very first few days, few weeks, we couldn't understand what they say. Right? If they ask again, I'll repeat. If they ask, Darshan, how are you? We say, good, sensei, no problem. So that is our typical answer. So then what we realize after 2-3 days, we realize what they actually mean by you have not been to the shop floor, or you don't know what happened yesterday, or you don't have any data. So we realized that there are no any place in the world without having problem. It doesn't matter whether we solve or not. That is separate answer. But we need to understand the problem of the shop floor, problem of the office, problem of the process. That is what they highlighted. So they said the having no problem is the biggest problem. Then they repeat it. Okay, Darshan, having no problem is the biggest problem. Then we realize the importance of having problem and importance of having problem solving. That is how these Toyota people uh, coach us. Actually, they are good coaches, right? They coach us to see the problem and solve the problem. Then what happened? They teach us for last around 14 years, right? They teach us to train our mind to see the problem and solve the problem. Actually, their training process is very tough, right? And they teach us to solve the problem at the rate of production. That is the other part. What is the meaning of rate of production? Anyone can give some input? They are not telling solve the problem. They are telling you need to solve the problem at the rate of production. That is the problem. That is what we need to think. Anyone has idea what is the meaning of rate of production?
Defect? No.
No. It's
Efficiency?
called yes, perfect. Rate of production. Here I put in the chat box, right? They said you need to solve the problem at the rate of production. That is what they say. Then what is this rate of? So they said as you are the efficiency or the how speed of our production moves, right? So that speed we need to solve the problem. So then they ask, what is your rate of production? That is the answer. That is their question. So our product, okay, we say so our efficiency is okay. Then you say no. Oh, what is your rate of production? Okay, hourly we manufacture apparel garments. Hourly our average is let's say example is 60 garment per hour. That means rate of production is 1 garment per minute. That is the rate of production. If we make 120 garments per hour, mean rate of production is 30 seconds, right? So that is what first we need to understand before solve the problem. What they say is, then they say it as what the meaning of rate of production for us. So that says if you take more time than the rate of production, you miss one product. I repeat that. If you take more than one time more than the rate of production to solve the problem, you miss one product. If you take 2 times, you miss 2 products. So when I was in previous my company, our rate of production was 23 seconds. So that means they told us, Darshana, you need to solve the problem before 23 seconds. If you not do it, remember one product you lost. If you take 46 seconds, 2 product lost. If you take 15 minutes to solve one problem, let's say 30, you lost 30 products. So that is where your production is. That is why we not achieve our daily target. So that is the speed. So then what happened? Not only that, then they taught us how to solve the problem within 23 seconds. I don't know what is your speed of problem solving, but my speed is 23 seconds. If you give me problems, like let's say 100 problem, I can solve around 80% of the problems within 23 seconds. Other 20 problems I cannot, right? But 80% problems I can solve within 23 seconds. That is the speed they taught us. Right, now you need to calculate what is your problem solving speed. Don't worry. Once you complete this today's session, you will be understand what to do is. But when you learn more and more other tools also, not only Wi-Fi, there are a lot of tools. Then your what you call problem solving speed will be increased, right? That's guaranteed. Okay, so with that, we'll move for what is a problem. Last week actually, Arjuna has discussed this one. The gap between, actually, sorry, Chatur, between last week, what is the problem? The gap between current state and desired state. He discussed this one a little bit. He took more time to describe this one. So therefore, I don't take much time, but so therefore, I'll move forward. Right. Let's say what this means, right? I'll back again the gap between current state and the desired state. That is the definition of problem. Let's say this one. One chicken rice is, let's say, 600 rupees. Currently, I go to shop, go to restaurant, and I check the menu and it says chicken rice is 600 rupees. Then I check my purse and I realize I have only 450 rupees. So then what is my problem? Can anyone tell? Or you can type in chat box. What is the problem I have?
150 short for the 600.
Perfect. That's the answer. 150. So my problem is not 600 rupees. My problem is 450 rupees. So why? That is the gap between current and current is 450. My requirement is 600. The gap is 450. So that is the problem. Because I am less with 150 rupees to get a or purchased or buy a chicken rice. So that is the simple understand we need to get. And remember, when you do the problem solving, like 99% problems, we need to be transfer into quantitative problem, not qualitative problem. Every problem transfer into qualitative. Sometimes we will see qualitative problems, but when we do go further and deep dive, we can quantitative that problem. Example, some people said, okay, our module not achieve target. That is a qualitative problem. How we can quantitative? What is the target, required target? What is the current achievement and what is the gap? Then you can understand 120 garments are lesser than the target. So that is our quantitative. Always 99% problems try to quantitative. Otherwise, it's very difficult to solve the problem. So qualitative problem solving, we are not using 5i, we are using other tools. But 5i also can use, right? It doesn't mean you cannot. 5i also can use to solve qualitative problem, but it is 1%. 99% it should be quantitative. That means with the numbers. With the number. Right. Remember this part very clearly. Right. So then problem solving is a PDCA methodology. Right. What is PDCA? Plan, do, check, act. Right. That is developed by quality guru, father of quality, Dr. Edward Deming. He has introduced this PDCA concept. All the lean, Six Sigma, if you ask like IWS, trace anything, this productivity improvement thing, you will heard about this PDCA. Right. So 5i also another tool of PDCA. PDCA means plan, do, check, adjust, simply. Right. So remember this Albert Einstein. This is a wonderful things that I also like it. The problem defined is a problem half solved. That is what Einstein says. Again, if you know the problem properly, that means 50% of a problem solved. I repeat it. Einstein says, if you know the problem properly, you have solved 50% of a problem. So therefore, it is really, really important to understand the problem properly. If you not understand the problem properly, sorry, you cannot solve the problem. If you understand the problem properly, 50% already done. Remember this one, therefore, before we do any problems, right, understand the problem properly or define the problem properly as per this definition. That is how we need to define the problem. Right, here we go. Now, let's identify some tools, right? There are how we can identify the problems. Now, problems, there are some tools. These are called problem identification tools, right? These are not problem solving tools, problem identification tool. Number one is 7 quality tools. That means what you have learned, what we have learned last week. These seven we call the QC tools, right? These are not problem solving tools. Remember, those are problem identification or highlighting tools. So a lot of people make mistakes. They think 7 quality tools are problem solving tools. I repeat again. These are problem highlighting tools, not problem solving tools. Right? So there are another problem solving tools are there, right? Okay, let's say again we go, what are the tools that we have in Lean to identify the problem? First one is 7 quality tools. Second one is ONO activity. So people who has already completed the yellow belt, you know very well what is ONO. ONO is a Tai Chi, ONO is come from Tai Chi ONO. That ONO activity is, okay, who will ask from, Ravi, can you give a little bit idea about what is ONO? Like
Yeah, Ono
10
means
second answer.
sorry.
like 10 seconds answer, small.
It's like problem solving.
Yeah, what is this activity?
Activities keeping the so going to the behind the operator helper. So we are checking the motions and
Very
how he's
good.
doing the his
Let's
job.
observe the operation, nah?
Yeah.
And
Observe the
identify what
operation.
are the improvement areas. So that's
Yes.
also Ono activity also, thanks Ravi, Ono activity also problem highlighting tools, not a problem solving tool. And very simply, everyone, I think you have heard the Gemba. Gemba mean go and see the actual places. And if you know the process mapping, MNI flow, we have drawn that is the key subject of this CLQP. MNI flow is another problem highlighting tool, not a problem solving tool, right? And 5S everyone knows. And customer complaints, yes. And green board. So what are the green boards? Green board you will learn in depthly in our certified lean quality expert course. That's another wonderful tool used in Toyota, used in lean to highlight the problems from the point of customer view, right? You will learn it in the green build. So these are some example of problem highlighting tools. Let's say in this, using these tools, we highlight the problem. We get to know there's a problem. Right now we know what is the problem. Then let's go to the, now we need to have another set of tools to solve the problem. Okay, first one is identify the problem. We use previous tools. Then after that, we need to know problem solving tools. So we have a separate set of tools. Now, as you can see here, first one is 5i, that is the fundamental problem solving tool and mostly used tool in the world. And another one is called the 8-step problem solving. You will learn this 8-step problem solving also in expert course. And A3 you learn in yellow belt. Some people has done yellow belt. And 8D problem solving, it is little bit famous, but it's currently also some organization use, but little bit outdated tool called the 8D. Anyone has experience of using 8D problem solving? But it's also good tool. It's a simple tool to solve a little bit big problem, right? Not the smallest problem, right? And DMAC is anyone who has qualified with the Six Sigma. DMAC is another tool. Actually, Six Sigma is a problem solving tool, right? They use the DMAC steps. And WWBL is a why because logic analysis. That tool used in TPM. TPM mean total productive maintenance. Mostly we use for the machine related problem solving, right? WWBLA, I tell it again. Why? Because logic analysis. This is an advanced tool normally used by engineers or the technical people, mostly for the machine related problem, right? If you know, if there's a lot of problems every day happening through machines, right? The machine give the defects, so we can use this WWBLA tool. And TRIS is the most difficult tool in the world. It's called the engineering algorithms. TRIS, last one. It's invented by Russia. That is the cause. Another tool called the TRIS. It's a very, very difficult tool. But the thing is, this tool is very difficult to solve the problem. And it is very, very easy to solve the problem. So there are difficult and easy part. Why it is easy? Because any problem, they have given us solution. We don't want to find the solution. Right? They give the solution. If you have problem A, this is the solution. If you have problem B, these are the solution. They have given the solution. Then why it is most difficult? Anyone can guess? That is the very funny part of TRIS. TRIS is easy because they give the answers. Then why it
Define
is
the
the most
problem.
difficult? Sorry?
Define the problem.
Actually, yes. Define mean you are 100% right. Now I said in there, like if we have a problem A, they have given the answer. If our problem is B, they have given the answer. But the difficult part is, it is very difficult for us to understand whether this is a problem A or problem B. recognizing of the problem is very difficult. If we recognize whether this problem is A type or B type, then it's only a few minutes to solve the problem because answers are there already. Right, that's called the trees. If anyone want to learn it, there are only few courses. I think I also not found. I learned this one from Russian engineer. It's called the trees. Okay, we'll move. Anyway, it doesn't matter. These are some tools. There are 100 of problem solving tools in the world. These are some example I have placed it there just for your understanding. Okay, we'll move into the most used tool in the world is called the 5i, right? If you have a handout, let's start writing. And if you have a paper, piece of paper, let's start writing, right? Okay. If the y is powerful, the how is easy. That means in 5y, if we ask y in a right way, our how mean our actions are very quick, easy, and we can get answers very quickly. Right. So that is what we say. Therefore, we need to learn how to ask why properly. So that's what we learned. 5i. Here we learned the tool today called 5i. If anyone who knows 5i or if anyone who learned today 5i, don't worry, you will be learn something today new. Right. Let's go. This is actually everyone in the apparel industry. That is why we take this example for last every courses, right? Let's say there is an oil drop puddle on the floor. Let's say when we walk, right? When we walk on the production floor, we saw oil drops on the floor. It's called a puddle, or let's say 5 or 6 oil drops on the floor. Right. So that is our problem. Why it is a problem? As a definition, standard is no oil should be on the floor. What is the current status? There are 4 or 5 oil drops on the floor. So what is the gap? There are 4 or 5 oil drops on the floor. So that means we have a problem. I repeat again, right? First, we need to understand the problem. Problem is gap between current and standard. Okay. Our standard should be no oil on the floor. Current is 2-3 oil drops on the floor. That means we have a gap. Right. Let's see how to solve this problem using 5i. Please listen carefully. For next 15 minutes, I will go through slowly, but step by step. Please listen. And after this class, day of tomorrow, Monday, please go through this problem solving again through this video, right? So then it will be go to your DNA, right? Here I'm going. Okay. So remember, before we ask 5i, there are 3 rules, right? Remember, first one, ask where before you ask why. That means where is hidden in 5i. In 5i tool, we are not using where, but it is hidden. We need to ask where in our mind. Right? That is first one. Second one, you need to act as the problem objective. You mean me. I want to act as a problem objective. What is the problem objective? In this problem, oil. Oil is the noun, right? Oil is the object in this problem. Now you need to act as oil. That means I need to think I am the oil. Like now I am not Darshana, I am oil. That is what we need to think. Number 3, always underline the verb of the sentence. When we write the sentence, always underline the verb. Verb means kriya padi. Underline the verb. If you don't have verb in your sentence, that means there are something small mistakes in your sentence. There should be a verb. Always underline the verb. So therefore, remember this 1, 2, 3 in your mind. Then we will do the problem solving. Here we go. Right. There is an oil drop on the floor. Now we need to understand where. Where on the floor. Number 1, ask where. Where is the oil? It's on the floor. Now you need to go to the floor. And you need to act as the problem objective. What is the object here? Oil. Now I am the oil. Now I am asking why I am on the floor. Now we need to ask why I am on the floor. You need to ask this one. Right? I'll use the pen, remember. Please listen carefully and don't look here and there. Okay. Now I ask question for here. Why I am? Whose I am? Oil. Why oil on the floor? Right. When we will show, right? Then when you observe why I am on the floor, you will see there's an oil leak in the machine. See? There's an oil leak in the machine. That is why I am on the floor. Right. Now here, leak is the verb. Underline. Who am I? Who am I now? Anyone support me, please?
Oil.
Oil.
Still I am oil, lah? Right, thank you. Now I am oil. Now I need to ask why for this verb. We need to ask why for this. Why I am leak. Then answer comes when you check the machine, the place where is the oil leak, then you will see there's a crack. There's a crack on the gasket. Gasket means that you know the gasket, right? Gasket is the small gadget used, is like a rubber shield used in machines to avoid the oil leaks, right? Now, when I observe, I see there is a crack on the gasket. Now, verb is crack, should be underlined. Now, who am I?
Gasket.
Now I am gasket. Now not oil because crack. What crack? Gasket crack. Right? Now this is like single language. Now I am a gasket. Now I need to ask why I crack. Now we ask why for this sentence. This crack. Now you totally forget the first sentence. Totally forget it. Now why I crack? When I check why I crack, because it's expired. Right? Now what is the verb is expired underline. Now who am I? Still I am a crack, gasket. Then I ask why gasket? Okay, why gasket expired? Then answer, we write it here, gasket has not changed on time. That is why this has been expired. Then I ask, why I not change? I mean gasket not change. Why not change? There is no method to check the condition of gasket. That is the fifth why. Right? So there is no method, right? So noun is no method, verb is crack. Now I have asked 5 whys. Right? This is how we need to ask 5 why. We'll go again, right? Now I am remember and listen how I read this sentence. There is an oil drop on the floor. Why? There is oil leak in the machine. Why? There is a crack on the gasket. Why? The gasket is expired. Why? The gasket has not changed on time. Why? There is no method to check the condition of gasket. This is how we need to, we are asking 5 why slowly, properly, and once you ask, remember these 1, 2, 3 rules in your mind. Keep these 3 in your mind. We are asking 5, right? Until we come across the 5th why, or this why call, the last why we call the root cause. Root cause, ROOD. So then why we do 5 why? We do 5 why to identify the root cause of the problem. That is why we are doing 5 why. To identify the root cause of the problem. Right. Now this is how we need to do. Now remember, now when we ask 5 why, right, you can ask another why also. There is no method to check the condition of gasket. You can ask another why. Why no method? You can ask why, no? And you will come with the no method, no one has written down. Why no one has written down? That has not been as focus area. Why not focus? Likewise, we can ask thousand of why, but these whys are not finished. But this is 5y, right? This is 5y, not a 10y or 20y. Therefore, we need to understand properly where to stop the 5y. That is really important. So where I stop the 5y, now let's say there's a story. That's a story. You please listen this story. Then if you this happened, I'll tell that story. Yeah. In like the area called like Anuradhapura, it's very hot area. Let's say it's a very hot time in Anuradhapura or somewhere very hot area, right? Polonnaru or this area. There was an incident happened. What the incident was there? A tourist came, or well, let's say some Sudek came and he booked a hotel room and stay there. So one day he go out and came back and kept his camera on the table of the room and he went to have a wash, right? When that tourist came out from the washroom and he realized he experienced the camera was lost, right? So then he quickly go to the reception and complain, my camera I kept on the near the window, but now it's lost, someone has stolen, right? So that's a big problem for the hotel. Good name. Then hotel reception tell this one to this complaint to the management, and management came and they need to solve the problem, right? So they did the 5i to solve this problem. Then when they checked the CCTV camera, they saw a monkey came and came to near the window and put hand and take the camera and go. Why? That is what they have observed, right? Now they need to ask 5i. Okay, who can support me to do the 5i for this monkey has stolen the camera? I think this story, Ravi, so Voteji knows this story because I had already told you, no? Okay. Now, first why? Camera was lost. That is the problem. Why? Monkey has stolen the camera. Why? Window was open. Why? Area is too hot. Why? It is a summer time. Why? Now, summer mean, the sun comes directly to the equator, right? Right? So that's the reason. So why sun is too hot? Because sun rise on the top of equator, because Sri Lanka is very near to the equator. Lanka. Why? Because our earth is 23% angle. You know that, right? North and south point, it's a 23% angle is there. Answer angle. Right? So why? Because world is rotating, earth is rotating around the sun. Why? Now, why world earth is rotating around the sun? Let's say God has created like that. Okay, now why God has created? We don't know, we cannot ask from God. Now our 5i finish. Now our problem is camera lost. Why camera lost? Root cause is God has created world, earth rotating around the sun. Now we need to solve the problem. What is our answer? We need to go to the God and tell, dear God, don't rotate earth around the sun. If you rotate again, camera will be lost. That is our answer. Can we do that solution? We cannot, no? We cannot. So that is mean asking why 100 times not give solutions. Therefore, we need to answer, understand where to stop. There are two rules where to stop. Rule number 1, if the y goes out of your control limit, please stop. What is out of your control mean? Maybe it's go to the supplier. Right? Sometimes we goes and it's go to supplier. Why is fabric happen? Why is fabric happen? Is the fabric this? Why is that is how the manufacture is made? It's a shipment. That is how shipment. So if it goes outside your control limit, please stop your Y 5Y. Now it is enough. But remember, inside your company, let's say production and your YY go to cut in, you can do it. It is not outside. Outside mean your company outside. Right? First one, if your Y goes outside the company, stop 5Y there. That is your last Y. And the other one is, if the Y, that means the root cause goes to a person, mechanic has not done, team leader not audit, team member attitudes. Likewise, if the root cause goes to person, you need to ask another why and stop. I repeat again, right? Now, once we do 5Y, we will feel we will get a problem where I stop my asking why. So there are two rules. Remember, first one, if your Y goes outside your control, stop then and there. That is your root cause. Stop. Second one, if your 5Y go to a person, then ask another one why and stop. Remember this, right? Once you do this one, then you will realize what I said. We need to do the 5Y to understand these 2 points. But remember these 2 rules. We are to stop the 5Y. Right? Here we go. And yeah, okay, we'll need to go fast. And let's say now we will do a 5Y. Up to now, are you okay, please? Manoj, Anuradha, how about Tirina? Okay, till now, okay, thank you. Manoj, you are okay a little bit? Because we are doing another 5Y, you will get to know, full understand, no learning about 5Y. Right, okay, here we go. Thank you. If you have a little bit idea, no problem. Okay, now here, now let's say anyhow we did the 5Y, then how we can check whether I have done my 5Y in a right manner or not. That's also important to understand whether my 5Y is right or wrong. Right. To identify your 5Y is in a right way or no, not, we are using a technique, right? We are using a technique, sorry, my bad. It's called, you can see here, it's called the therefore technique, right? Please listen first how to do 5Y and how to do therefore. Okay, I read this 5Y. Here we go. There is an oil drop on the floor. Why? There is oil leak in the machine. Why? There is a crack on the gasket. Why? The gasket is expired. Why? Gasket has not changed on time. Why? There is no method to check the condition of gasket. Okay, that is my 5Y. And now I want to check whether my 5Y is right or wrong. For that, we use the technique called therefore. Therefore, start from the bottom. 5Y or the Y start from the top. That means from the problem. Therefore, start from the last Y or the root cause. Here we go. This is how we read it. There is no method to check the condition of gasket. Therefore, gasket has not changed on time. Therefore, the gasket is expired. Therefore, there is a crack on the gasket. Therefore, there is an oil leak on the machine. Therefore, there is an oil drop on the floor. Now, when you ask therefore one by one to the top, right, you will see there's a nice matching between one sentence to another sentence. That means our therefore is right. That means our 5Y is right. Right? Sometimes why? Sometimes when you ask why, we can write down properly down. But when we ask therefore from the bottom, then some Y's we will see there was no exactly matching. That means that Y is wrong. That is how we need to understand. So your 5Y, You can check using therefore technique. Right, here we go. Now, this is your individual assignment today, right? Please take a paper. Let's write a 5i, right? Please take a paper, or if you have a handout printout, you can see there's a space on your handout, right? Problem. What is the problem? Let's say this is the problem. When you observe a garment, right, there's this defect called the open seam, right? Everyone knows this one. This is normally a very famous defects on our garments, right? Apparel industry. Let's say you have found one open seam in a t-shirt. This is the style number and the module number 12. Style number blah blah blah. You have found one garment with open seam. Now that is the problem. What is the problem? Style number SK01458, module number 12, one garment found with open seam. That is the problem. Right? Please write it. Write write the problem on your paper. What is the problem? Module number 12, style number SK101456. One garment with open seam defect. Remember that three things. First, you need to be okay. Now, this t-shirt. Now you need to be that open seam. Now I am the open seam. Now you need to ask why I am here. Why open seam is there? Ask why open seam in the t-shirt. Write the answer. Then ask why for the answer. Write the second 5. Okay. Now I am silent. I will give you, I will give you 15 minutes. Write the 5i on a paper and take a photo and please upload into our WhatsApp group. Right now I am silent. Our problem is module number 12, style number SK01456. There's a one garment with open seam. That's the problem. Okay, here we go. Right, okay. Operator not stitch panel together. Okay, why? Not follow seam allowance both panel. Why? Due to mean why, same, right? So due to, we are not using the word called due to. Let's cut the due to. Improper, why? Improper handling. Why? Not follow STW properly. Now Dilan, here not follow mean person, right? Operator not follow STW. Remember, there's a rule. We cannot stop 5i. I'll go again. Root cause goes to person. We can't stop. We need to ask another why. Now in this why not follow SW mean not follow mean the operator not follow. Okay. So you need to ask another why operator not follow. Very good one. So that is why we are learning. We need to do 5 whys to learn these techniques, right? Okay, these things. Let's go to Anuradha's one. Others, please share. Open scene. Actually, Anuradha, right? I am watching this. Yeah, Anuradha, no need to write the why sentence. We are reading, right? Only the answer only we are writing. Okay. The stitches stick onto the fabric together properly. Why? Thread tension issue, handling, stitch broken. Why? Metal calibrated incorrect. Right? Why? Operator didn't check the stitch before start operation. Why? Copy is in the place, mechanic, calibration, poor hand. Ma'am, you cannot put this arrow. Only one answer should be there. Like operator didn't check the stitch before start operation. Why? Why operator didn't check? So last why, please write again, Anuradha. Otherwise, very good.
Okay.
No? Yeah, I'm going to Ravi's one. Okay, why open seam problem? Open seam in teacher, right? Why open seam occurred? No, okay, right. First, why? How open seam occurred? Now you cannot ask problem. Why? How? Now, Ravi, now we are here. You one, right? Now, your
Yeah.
problem, our problem is open seam occurred, right? Why open seam occurred?
Yeah, it's mistake. Yeah.
The second why, let's go to second
Yeah.
why. The needle was burnt. Why needle was burnt? Needle not change. Why not change? Operator not follow the changing SOP. Why needle change policy not based on the machine? Okay. This is okay. Please take out the first why, but 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. Then you have only 4 whys.
No,
Right.
I have 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go to 5.
4 why.
Normally,
Yeah.
actually, there are no 5 why mean you need to go for 5. Some
Yeah.
problem you can, your root comes before 5 why. Sometimes we need to go to 6, 7 whys to identify the root cause, right? So it is not every time 5 why. It can be 4, 5, 6 times, right? But this is okay. We'll go to Manoj one. Operator not make side seam with correct handling. Okay, why not? Technician not train her correct method. Okay, why? Technician not understand the correct method. Why? Before start the new feeding, she not take the trial sample to get understand. Why? Trial sample making process. No trial sample making process in fact. Now this is very good. Now, but the thing is, now Tilin, this is very good one. But the thing is now no trial sample making process in the factory. That means because this factory doesn't have trial sample process, no. That means every time our technician don't know the process. That means every time our technician trains methods are wrong. It cannot be. All right. You understand what my argument is, right? Now, if we don't have the trial making process in the factory, that means no operation in our factory has a correct method. It's not happening, no. Only this operation has the problem. It is not because of the no trial sampling. There should be another. So therefore, you need to ask from 3, 4, 4, 5, because no trial sampling process, therefore no 4. 1, 2, 3 is I am agreed. Ravi is your first, sorry, not Ravi. Tilan, your Manoj, your first 3 okay, but please ask for 4 and 5. Please do it again. Now we are going to Tirina's one. Our time, no? Okay, please take your take your break. Now it's 9, and after the break we will come back. Dilan, there is no 1, 2, 3. Always why? Operator notice it not the problem. Why no training during training cut? Okay, right. That's also. And there are another both you have shared on our chat box. Open seam. Why the 2 fabric panels were not aligned properly? Why? The panels are misaligned at the needle point. Why? The fabric move out from the position during stitching. No. Only one thing, both you and the other, you cannot use due to. Due to mean why. If you see why, ask why again. No due to. The fabric moved out from positioning during stitching. Finish. Why? Machine speed cannot control. Why? There was no proper method to control the speed according to the operation. Okay. Why? Standard operation procedure for strip control were not established. Okay, right. So now it's okay. Good point. What we learned there is we cannot use due to. Due to mean why. Due to is a similar word for why. Then if you come due to that is your next why. Very good. So now you are very good according to the learn quickly. Right here I share it again. Thank you. Good. Right here we go again. That's right. Now let's say we know how to write the 5i. Now what is the most important other part? Now here you can see this is our example 5i here. In this 5i, our root cause is there is no method to check the condition of gasket. So that is our root cause. So in 5y, we need to answer for the last y. Last y we always call the root cause. Now let's say if you now oil on the floor, right? Now we do the 5y, and what we do is we came across the root cause, that is no method. Now what we do is we go and develop new method. But are we stop the oil leak of this machine? No.
No.
Right? So first we need to stop oil leakage of this machine. Today, this machine. Right? Then after we can go and fix the new process. Right? Therefore, the current or this problem, this reason for this problem, we call specific root cause. Remember? Now, why the oil on the floor, why it is now oil on the floor? Because of there's a gasket crack. So that is the specific reason for this problem, today problem. It is called specific root cause. Then the process, why it is happened, the process, that process root cause we call system root cause. Now remember, in 5i there are two causes, root causes. First one called specific root cause. Other cause, root cause called system root cause. Always last y is the system root cause. Now, when we fix the system root cause, this problem will never happen again. But before that, we need to solve today this problem. No? It is called specific root cause, right? Specific means specific for today or this problem. So that problem we need to quickly solve the problem. Like that is why we call the short-term action. So remember in 5i we have two root causes. First one called the specific root cause, the other one called the system root cause. Specific root cause mean the root cause for this problem or today problem. System root cause mean what is the reason in our process to occur this problem. Right. So therefore, we have two causes. We need to answer for these two causes. Right. So we need to make a plan. So first one is we need to make a plan for a specific root cause, or we call we need to get action for the specific root cause. It is called short-term action. Or we call, what are the other called? Short-term, will go like this. And when we need to fix the process, that then we will not see the problem again. That's called the long-term action. We take long-term actions to stop reoccurrence of the problem. We give action for specific root cause to solve today this problem. That is the reason. Or these two we call another two words. One is called the preventive action and
corrective and preventive action.
what is the other one?
Corrective and preventive action.
Corrective and preventive. Corrective for what?
Current situation, whatever.
Current. That means specific root cause, we use corrective. Corrective means that problem already happened. We need to correct it quickly. It is called corrective. We need to get a corrective action. Preventive means that problem not happen, but in the future it can be happen. Therefore, we need to get a action. It's called the preventive action. Right? So corrective action, no, preventive action. I'll write it here for you to understand. This is corrective. And the other one we call preventive. Right? So these are the two action we need to take. Okay, right. This place, please remember this one properly. What is this corrective? What is this preventive? Right. So this is how we know. Now, therefore, every 5 eyes, we have two type of actions. First one is corrective action. We use it for short term. That means today problem solve. And we have a long term action we take, or we call the preventive action. Now, most of why our problems in our shop floor always happen again and again. Now, you know, we give the solution for the problems. And we give today solution, tomorrow, again and again. Every day we give solution for the same problem. But tomorrow it's come again. Next week it's come again. Because why? We are very good on corrective problem solving, but we are not taking action for system root cause or preventive action we have not taken. Because we are very good on plastering. Right? We took plaster very quickly, okay? Then we forget the problem and therefore it's come again. So if you want to solve the problem or eliminate reoccurring the same problem, please take long-term action or preventive action. That action need to be taken for the system root cause. Check the system root cause, get action. And here system root cause is develop a new method of condition the gasket checking. That is the and hand over into the engineering. That is system. Specific root cause is gasket crack. So our action is change the gasket of this machine. That's a short term. Within half an hour, we can change the gasket and solve the problem of this machine. That is called the two type of action. Right? Remember, if you see same problem happen and happen again in your production flow, we need to realize we are not taking long-term action or preventive action. Right? Now this is what we need to do. You can see some actions being written here, how we can write the action, right? Short-term action, change the gasket, write name, and today he need to write it down. Change within next 1 hour. Long term, develop a checking method in PM in plant maintenance system. Who Kalana need to be do? Let's say there's an engineer, and when he need to do, we will give him another 10 days to develop a checking method. So then we change today this machine gasket, and we'll develop new checking method to check the gasket expiration. Then we can solve the problem, and then we can fix the problem that this gasket cracking will not happen in the future. So this is how we need to get actions for our problems, right? Then what we need to do is we need to check. Now we have checked the gasket change. Now then we need to check the results. Action being taken. Now we need to check at least 1, 2, 3 days or 2, 3, 4 hours. We need to check and whether our problem gets solved or reduced. That means our actions are okay. Remember, all the problems we cannot make it 0. That is why our quality target also not 100, 96, 97%. Because it's not easy to eliminate the problem properly, which take time. At least if we can see the reduction of our problem, that is good. Right? Therefore, we need to check the results for 2-3 days. Like in here, this is my problem, oil. Now, if we take 2-3 days oil on the shop floor with any machine, if you not see the problem, we know our action that have been taken is work properly, and that is the solution. Right? This is how we need to do the problem solving. Now, this is we teach in BIQ, or we call the quality performer we do. Remember, now normally we solve the problem, we do only 5Y for one problem. That is the normal practice. But in quality related, I repeat, in quality related, for every problem, we need to do 2 5Ys. That is the important part. This is on your handbook, right? I repeat again, third time. Normally, every problem we use only 5i and get actions. But for the quality related, we need to do 2 5i's for same problem. One 5i called y made. Other 5i we need to do y pass. I will give the example now. Y made mean, let's say there is a fabric hole. Why this fabric hole? What the problem solving you have done now? 5 minutes before, it's a y made problem solving. So we identify the root cause why this fabric hole came. Right? That is called why. But in quality, you know, now this fabric, let's say this fabric hole, yes, it's happen, can be happen now because our process are not 100% error proof. That is why we have 100 of quality gates in our process. Now, when you go to your MNI flow, you can see lot of quality gates because why our process are not error proof. That is okay. But we need to understand, let's say this fabric hole identified by the final quality inspection. But this hole happened at the production module. Now you see the problem made happen in the production module, but it passed from inline checking, AQL, maybe pre-final, and final is go to final, and the final checker identify this fabric or this fabric hole, stitching hole. That means in between our process, there are a lot of quality gate, but these people also not identified this defect and it has been passed through these quality gates. Then we need to ask another why. It's called the why pass this defect. Right? So that is 2 type of 5 whys we do for quality related problem. I am guaranteed like 99%, 99 companies around the world do only one 5i. Why made only? They are not doing why pass problem solving. Therefore, our quality team calibration not be happen properly. Our quality team will not be informed or we are not underestimate, right? So we not get a good understand about our quality process because we are not doing bypass, right? Remember, so making defects can be happen, but passing defect cannot be happen. I repeat, making defect can be happen because of the errors. Remember the very first day, errors and defects, but passing defect cannot be accepted. There is a problem with our quality team, quality process, right? Therefore, please do 2 5i's, 1 pass, 1 made. Okay, so that is really understand. Up to now, everyone get understand 5i and there are 2 5i's. Yes, so please type because we are moving to the next page. Quality related, there are 2 5i's we need to do. Otherwise, you cannot solve the problem. You get some idea, please? Yes. Okay, thanks, Boteju. Anyone? Others? 5i and 2. Okay, Manoj. Now what we do is, okay, now this is the problem. Right? Now this is the problem. I will make you 2 teams. Team number 1, do 5i for this problem. Why make? Team number 2, do a problem solving. Why pass? Okay. Our problem is AQL checker has identified, right? Who has identified? AQL checker identified. Skip stitch on a garment. Let's say bottom hem. There's a t-shirt. In this t-shirt bottom hem. AQL has identified skip stitch damage. Okay. Then it's a pass, right? Pass from where inline checker check 100% garment, but she or he does not identify then it pass into AQL. AQL people identify these defects. So they are mean an inline checker has not identified its pass from or pass through a inline checker. So we need to ask another 5, right? I'll make breakout room, team room number 1. Why make? Why? That means why this skip stitch happened? Team room number 2. Why this defect pass through inline checker? So that is what we need to do, right? 2 teams. Here we go. Here we go. Right. We'll take 15 minutes because why pass need to be think properly. Right. So team 2, both of you, shall we write again? Because this is not asking the why. Why did the line checker path skip? That is not we are asking. We are not asked the question. Right? Why? And because there is no because. Why? Then there cannot be a question. Why? The clockwise checking method was not followed. Why? The line checker was not trained properly. So this is wrong way we are writing. So don't write question there. Right? So better we write it again. Otherwise, I think other team also I said, don't write question. We need to ask the question in our head only. We use why and give the answer. Why give the answer? Now, when you got a threeness one, the way you write is okay, but we will go through the whether 5i is right or wrong. And please ask therefore also. Team number 2, please write again your 5i. Don't ask question. Ask question by your head, but we are writing only the answer.
So we can remove the answers, no, from this?
No, you cannot remove the answer. You keep the answer.
No,
only.
no, sorry, question.
Question.
Sorry, my bad.
No, it's okay. Remove
Aruna,
the
then, yeah. Aruna, then
I,
we remove
then
the,
answer.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Now we have 9:45. We have 15 minutes. Don't worry. Now team number 2. Team number 2, both you and the team. Right. Now can you go through Tilina and the team number 1, 5i, and give comments to improve this 5i. I mean, why make 5i? But what age you, Manoj in team number 9. Ravi, what age you? Please go through the 5i done by team number 1 and give comments to improve. The problem is skip stitch in a garment. Why? You can see the answer in our WhatsApp. Okay, now I am silent. You are the teachers. One team need to give comments for other team. Blind needle is, where is the verb in blind needle? Blunt needle. Blunt needle vakyam verb එක ක්‍රියාපදයක් නැහැ. Needle is a noun. Blunt is a adjective. නාම විශේෂණයක් blunt. ක්‍රියාපදයක් නැහැ පළවෙනි y එකේම. අපි blunt කියන්නේ නිකන් blunt නිකන් ගෙවිච්ච needle එක. ගෙවිච්ච needle එක කියමු. ඒක ක්‍රියාපදයක් නැහැ නේද එතන? ඒ නිසා ඒකයි අර මං කිව්වේ ක්‍රියාපදෙන් underline. So what I say is underline the verb means then you can understand. If there is no word you cannot underline. That means we know my sentence is something wrong. The needle was blunt. අන්න එහෙම වගේ කිව්වනම්
We can put damage.
මේක skip stitch එක නේද? එතකොට damage වෙන්න බෑ. damage වුණොත් හැම එකේම
The
skip.
needle was blind, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Likewise, there should be 1. Then, okay, then Boteju, who is in that team? Ravi, Boteju, please give comments to our team number 1. Go quickly. And the same way, team number 2, please go, team number 1, please go to team number 2's 5i and give comments. Now it's chance for team number 2 to give comments for team number 1. Why mate?
Darshana, our one actually we want to remove the question only.
Yeah.
The answers are okay. Answers and because
Answers are
we
okay.
have to remove the because also, no?
Correct. And question and the because word. Okay, others please go through. We have only 10 minutes. Tirina has uploaded the 5i in our WhatsApp chat box. Actually, it's not only Tirina's, that team. Okay, I'll ask because you are not giving. No? Dilan,
Yes.
what do you think?
There's
මොනවද improve කරන්න තියෙනවා හිතන විදියට? ඒකේ team number 1 එකේ.
So we have only 3 Ys.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
very
that's
rare.
right,
3y, 3y is also a problem. It's very rarely we can get system root cause in 3y's. It's maybe go to 4 is the minimum.
Okay.
Okay. Dilan, මොනවද ඔයාලට පේන්නේ මේකේ තියෙන improvement?
මට හිතෙනවා තර්ඩ් වන් එක විදියට දැන් තිල්න 3යි දාලා තියෙනවා. ඔකේ සෙකන්ඩ් එකට පස්සේ අපි මොනිටර් කරන සිස්ටම් එකක් හදන්න නෑ කියන එක.
හරි,
ඒ කියන්නේ
අපි කිව්වොත් නිකන් කියමු බලන්න කොහොමද එන්නේ කියලා
ඒ
ඔයාලට.
කියන්නේ ඩේලි නීඩල් චේන්ජින් කරන රිපෝට් එක රෙකෝඩ් එකක් මොනිටර් කරන සිස්ටම් එකක් දාන්න. ඊට පස්සේ තිල්න there is no preventive තර්ඩ් එක විදියට මම සජෙස්ට් කරනවා බ්‍රෝකර් නීඩල් චේන්ජින් පොලිසි එකක් මොනිටර් කරන්න ඕනේ. සුපර්වයිසර් හරි අපේ ටීම් එකත් එක්ක.
ඒ උත්තරේ නේද? ආපහු යන්කෝ. පළවෙනි y එක තමයි නීඩල් එක බ්ලයින්ඩ් වීම. අපි සිංහලෙන් කියමුකෝ දැන් මේක මෙයා නැති හින්දා නීඩල් එක බ්ලයින්ඩ් වීම. ඇයි බ්ලයින්ඩ් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? why blind
There
නීඩල්
is no
බ්ලයින්ඩ් වෙලා
periodical.
තියෙන්නේ?
Periodical.
ඒක වෙලාවට චේන්ජ් කරපු නැති
change
නිසා.
කරන්න නැති නිසා.
ඕකේ වෙලාවට චේන්ජ් කරපු නැති. ඒ කියන්නේ ඕවර් යූස් හින්දා තමයි
ඔව්.
මේක ඇති. ඇයි වැඩියෙන් යූස් කරලා තියෙන්නේ? එහෙම නැත්නම් ඇයි වැඩියෙන් ඇයි වෙලාවට චේන්ජ් කරලා නැත්තේ?
ඒගොල්ලෝ
Operator follow the SOP.
ඒගොල්ලෝ
ප්‍රිවෙන්ටිව්
awareness
මේන්ටෙනන්ස්
නැතිකම
එකක් නෙමෙයිනේ.
awareness එකක් නැතිකම
හරි එහෙම දාන්නත් පුළුවන්. එහෙම දාන්න දැන් මෙතන third y එක ගත්තම ප්‍රිවෙන්ටිව් මේන්ටෙනන්ස් එකක් හින්දා නෙමෙයි. ඒක අපි ගෙලින්ම අයින් කරන්න පුළුවන්.
Operator SOP එක follow කරපු නැති නිසා.
ඔව් එහෙම ඔන්න ඒ දැන් ඔය ඇත්ත මෙහෙමයි. ඕක අපි හිතන්න බෑ 5y කරනවා කියන්නේ we need to go to the stand that place and ask කාමරේ ඉඳන් බෑ you need to ask properly whether it is follow. Okay, let's say need not change on time. Why?
Maybe there's no needle changing policy in place.
There's no periodic needle change in policy එකක් නෑ. Why no policy?
There's no timeline to change the needle.
එහෙනම් ඒක එන්න ඕනි මේ
Number
blunt
2.
needle එකට පස්සේ.
Okay.
Needle was blunt. Why? Needle has not changed on time. Why?
There's no periodical needle
no
policy.
SOP.
No SOP. Okay,
SOP.
why? අපි අනිත් දැන් ওই තුනකින් නවත්තමු. It's okay වෙලාව නැති හින්දා. අපි අනිත් පැත්තට හැම therefore no SOP. Therefore needle has not changed on time. Therefore needle blunt. Therefore skip stitch. හරි නේද?
Correct.
හරිනේ. හැබැයි ඕකේ තව අහන්න පුළුවන් මම මේ වෙලාව නැති හින්දා we are going little bit fast, right?
Yep.
So always go down and ask therefore, then you will realize we can assess by ourselves whether our problem solve is right or wrong. Then team number 1. Okay, අපි පොඩ්ඩක් then we'll go අර මේ chat box එකේ තියෙන්නේ. So in our chat
So
box.
why the
Team number 1.
clockwise
Please give you suggestion.
checking method
Anuradha
was not
Manoj.
followed? Yeah. The clockwise checking method was not followed. The line checker was not trained properly. The training procedure were not sufficient. The training program was not updated to include the clockwise checking method. where there's lack of management oversight and clear SOP.
හරි. therefore කියලා හම්බන්න උඩ.
Therefore, why SOP is not in place?
නෑ. එහෙම ඔන්න නියමයි. දැන් ඕක අහන්නේ therefore නෙමෙයි පටන් ගන්නෙ. අන්තිම එකේ y එක අතරලා කියවනවා. There is a lack of management oversight in clear SOP procedure for training. Therefore the training program was කියලා. එතකොට y එක සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම අප අයින් කරලා කියවන්නේ. හරි. ආයි කියමු. නියමයි. Let's go.
Therefore, no training, the program was not updating to include the clockwise training method.
Okay. Therefore, no, we'll go again, right?
Therefore,
There's
the
a lack
training
of management oversight. SOP operation for. Therefore, the training program
Training
was
progress
not
not updated.
Therefore,
Therefore, training procedure were
was
not insufficient.
insufficient.
Therefore, line checker was not trained properly.
Therefore,
Clockwise checking method was not followed.
therefore, that
No, that
Therefore, the skip.
stitch came, no? Skip stitch pass.
Pass to the equivalent.
Now here, the second team is skip stitch pass, not made. Right now, you see now beautiful things, right? Now, problem made problem. We give action to the operator, right? The past problems, we give action or we take countermeasure for the quality team. Hari neda? So that is the beauty of real 5i, right? Quality related. No, always, right? Why made? The defect made that answers or the action or countermeasures go to operator. Why past countermeasures or the actions always go to quality team, not for the operator. So therefore, the quality related, if you see any quality related problem found by final inspection or AQL or somewhere, we need to do 2 5is and why made answer go to operator or mechanic level, why past actions go to quality people, right? So next week we will be learning, that is how we do the 5, right? Next week we will be learning now what happened if the pass happened and why pass was there, what kind of action we can take for quality team. So that one we will learn next week, right? That's all for the day. Thank you. So any feedback? How was the today's session? How the first time learning Manoj,
It's good.
Dylan, how was
It's good
today
learning
learning?
subject, yeah. It's good today.
Tirina, how was today?
Yeah, it's interesting actually, like it's more in detail,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So that is a real way of doing 5i for the quality
Exactly.
related. That is why this course is designed. That is why we call the performer course, right?
Yeah.
Quality expert. That is how the Toyota doing 5i. Right? They are not doing just 5i, right? Quality people as a one task, operation people as another task for the defect related problems. So a lot of people not understand this one. So we get this training directly from Toyota. That is why we know this BIQ process very well. Okay. So your homework, I will share you a format. That is the standard format we use it in academic folding. We will show you the Excel format. Please take one problem in your operation and do 5i and share with us. That is your second assignment, right? I will share you the Excel format. This format you can use in your company also. Take our logo out, put your company logo, and you can use the same format, right? So that is your homework for the day. So we will meet next Saturday. So today is day 8. We have only 2 weeks.
more
That
days.
means before New Year we will conclude this class. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good night, team.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Good night.